Welcome to part 2 of Plan Ahead Events collaborative and self-generated events. Now, I just got done telling you about 5K events, Total Health Fest, Bacon and Kegs, and how you can modify that type of event and even host a Bacon and Cheese Fest. Now, the next event I'm going to tell you about is actually one of my favorites. It's called Divas on the Green. Now, Divas on the Green is a concept where females, actually, better known as divas, go out on a golf course and don't play golf. I paused dramatically on purpose so that could set in for a second. What happens during this event is actually the divas go out on the golf course and they still get paired up in foursomes just like you would in golf, but at every single hole that they drive their golf cart to, they get pampered in some different sort of way. For instance, the divas, the foursome, might drive up to the first hole and get their nails done, get a manicure, get a pedicure, have a good time. Then, after about 10-15 minutes, a siren sounds and they drive off to the second hole. At the second hole, it might be something different. It might be a trunk show where they can purchase jewelry and dresses and have a little boutique shop set up on the second hole. Once again, they get 10-15 minutes at that hole, a siren sounds, and they're off to the next. At the third hole, they might see something even different. And again, it might be a wine sampling event where a local wine reps come out and had different types of wine laid out for the divas at the game or at the event to experience different sorts of wines. Another fun, great type of concept that you could take in your territory and make it your own as well. Our franchisees are having this event currently across the United States. I believe already we've had 3 franchisees plan this event in their own territory and have made it into such a great success that they're already planning a second one. You can really get creative with this concept and have different types of fun pamperings happen at every single hole. Whether it's like the ones that I stated before, or even different ones that some of our other franchisees have come up with fun different types of entertainment at each individual hole. So make sure to tap into those franchisees, pick their brains about what type of vendors they sold to at this event, which vendors had a really positive feedback from this event, which ones the divas really enjoyed going to while at this event, and so. Now you might ask yourself, well, how do I generate money at an event like this called Divas on the Green? It sounds like a fun concept. Maybe it's something that my wife would go to or me and my girlfriends would go to as well, but I don't understand as a Plan Ahead Events franchise owner, how do I generate the revenue? Well, that's a great question, and that's something that you should always be thinking about when planning a self-generated or a collaborative event. The main resource for revenue from a Divas on the Green event is, of course, the registration for the divas. Divas can sign up individually or as a foursome, something that the girls can get together and do on a weekend night or on a weekday night as well. Most of these events for Divas on the Green are held usually in the later afternoon when golf courses are not as busy or popular during that time of day. And the revenue is generated by the divas registering for this event. So you might have a registration fee for an individual diva signing up by themselves, or you might want to give some sort of price break for any divas that sign up as a foursome themselves. For instance, I believe some of the franchisees that have had this event charge $50 per diva, but if you signed up as a foursome, you got a break and you only had to pay $175. So there was a price break there if you signed up as a foursome. Also, for the most part, most franchisees had this event on just 9 holes out of the 18 holes regular golf course. 18 holes would make this event extremely long, would be a lot of vendors that you'd have to find, and if you go to each hole for about 15 minutes after 18 holes, your event could wind up being over 4 hours long. So for the most part, try and have this event stay within the 9-hole limit, and your divas will have much more fun at an event like that. With any questions about Divas on the Green, feel free to contact Roberta from Canada, Tom from Washington, D.C., or Katie from Hershey, Pennsylvania. All of these franchisees have had some sort of experience with the Divas on the Green type of event. Now that wraps it up for the Divas on the Green event. The next event that I'd like to tell you about is called the Local Business Expo. Now, if you've gone through training school at our world headquarters for Plan Ahead Events within the last year or so, you might have heard of the Local Business Expo concept before in the past. Within the last year that we've really introduced this concept of the Local Business Expo, our franchisees have taken this concept and really made it into their own, creating some really fun and exciting events really creative, different types of events in their territories off of the local business expo concept. Now, the local business expo concept was first introduced when I first started working with Plan Ahead Events. When I came here, there was an issue that happened after our franchisees went through training school and started their setup in their own territory. What we originally had our franchisees do was they were planning their first event as their business launch in their territory. And there's no problem to that. We still encourage franchisees to host a business launch event in their territory in some type of capacity. But a lot of franchisees were coming to me directly because I was working in support at that time saying, you know what, I just bought a franchise, just went through training school, want to have my first event and have my launch event, but I can't afford to spend any more money out of pocket when I'm first getting my business established. And that point made total sense to us here at corporate, so we wanted to assist with that as much as possible for our new franchise. So what we did was come up with a concept titled the Local Business Expo. It takes all of the best things about a business launch, the networking aspect of it, getting with businesses, having your first event, getting experience under your belt, generating revenue, and turned it into this concept. So the Local Business Expo concept actually follows the theme and the popular trend right now of shop locally. Right now, a lot of downtown district authorities, municipalities, CVBs are really pushing that motto and that statement of shop locally. So we've taken that concept and turned it into our event called the Local Business Expo, allowing our franchisees to go out into the marketplace, into their territory, connecting with local business owners, and inviting them to have a booth at their event of the Local Business Expo. Now, our franchisees are usually having this event within the first 60 to 90 days of their business setup after going through training school. However, this event is still available for any other franchisee, no matter the experience level, to participate in when operating a Plan Ahead Events franchise. One of the benefits about the Local Business Expo event is actually that corporate has all of the resources, materials, timelines, checklists that you need in order to make this event successful. I've personally created a timeline checklist in chronological order for the planning process of this event that if you go through and you check off every single item on that list in order, you will be sure to have a successful event for your local business expo in your territory. So please feel free to reach out to corporate, reach out to myself, Jared Reuter with Plan Ahead Events, and ask us any questions that you have about the local business expo. I myself has actually planned 2 of these events in the West Palm Beach area as test runs for our franchisees so that I could go through the process, find out what works, what didn't work, and relay that message back to our franchisees. Because of doing so and doing all of that legwork from the corporate office already, we've seen a lot of success for our franchisees who have had this event in their territory as well. So feel free, like I said with all of the other events as well, tap into that networking resource that we have with other franchisees. Find out what they did with their local business expos so that you could duplicate this very same event in your territory as soon as you'd like. Now, that concludes everything I have to tell about you guys about self-generated and collaborative events with Plan Ahead Events. What I would like to conclude with, though, is I really do want to encourage you guys to go out there, start planning your own self-generated events, getting with other franchisees that are in the network and planning collaborative events together, because that's what Plan Ahead Events is all about. As you can see these photos from events, all of these events are creative, fun events that our franchisees have been a part of, that the corporate office has been a part of, and we have experience and knowledge in all of these fun, creative types of events. One of the main reasons I'm sure you got into Plan Ahead Events initially is because how fun and exciting this industry really is. You wouldn't have bought this franchise if you weren't really adamant and excited about planning events like the ones you see on the screen here. Everything from 5K color runs to the middle picture, which was actually an event that I helped participate in, where we brought a live half-pipe snow pipe to downtown West Palm Beach in the middle of fall. And for those of you that have ever visited Florida before, it doesn't snow here, so having the half-pipe snow lift was actually something that was not normally seen in West Palm Beach, Florida. And even fun events, as you can see, team collaborative events on the left side as well. So please get with the corporate staff, work with the other franchisees, start planning self-generated events, collaborative events in your territory today. There's no excuse not to be in at least the planning process of your own self-generated event at any time. You can call the timeline for the event. You can schedule how far out you want to plan this event, how much time you dedicate to each event. We still encourage you highly, follow the business plan, follow the business model. Always try and get outside clients and businesses to do trade shows, conventions, networking events, social events, nonprofit events, everything else that Plan Ahead Events has to offer. But self-generated events, collaborative events is something that I'm very passionate about. A lot of our franchisees are passionate about as well, and are willing to help you and support you in any capacity that you need in order to plan a successful self-generated or collaborative event in your territory. So I hope this helps. I hope the two-part session that you've seen these videos for collaborative and self-generated events gave you some sort of ideas or nuggets to take from and start planning these types of events in your marketplace today. Feel free to reach out to corporate office, the rest of the franchisees as well, for any questions or support you might need on self-generated or collaborative events. And good luck and have fun.